Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Hashtag Gaming Arena. Today we're going to be looking at an exhibition match between Melga and Mastemon. This is going to be at our store champs, the last store champs of the season. This is a very interesting matchup because Mastemon does play that kind of security control style. It's putting things in its security, it's making sure to load stuff, and it's doing huge board removal. But board removal doesn't really work against OTK decks when their decks focus on keeping their stuff in the raising and then going out and killing you immediately. Chaos Degrade and Flame Hellscythe are the biggest issues in this matchup, simply because you hit into one of them, your OTK is most likely over, right? Pretty decent start here from the MetalgarurumonX player, finding that MetalgarurumonX in the Garurumon, and then being able to go into the Garurumon for one to pass turn. Passing turn to Mastemon while they have a Godamon on board is always really scary because you never know when they're going to pop that Mastemon out. Being able to trash that Magna-Angemon is even scarier too. They're able to start getting that in trash, able to start bringing it out from security, but it doesn't seem like they have the pieces they need, so the Godamon going to swing, not going to find anything, and it's going to end up dying using the Flame Hellscythe to try to bring it back. But then they realize that because he has no yellow source, he's not able to play that Flame Hellscythe, so instead he's just going to go ahead and drop a Gazimon. And so passing it back over to Melga. Melga's going to raise out and swing over the Psychemon with the Garurumon and evo to the WereGarurumon. Now he has that OTK ready, but he does pass turn. That WereGarurumon should not unsuspend, but it doesn't really seem like it's going to matter in this instant. For Mastemon, they need to be able to take out this WereGarurumon before the OTK starts, using the Godamon to search out the Psychemon in the fall down mode. And now WereGarurumon online with a Garurumon backup. If the WereGarurumon's able to check for 5 checks, the Garurumon's able to finish it off. So it swings and unsuspends using the Garurumon inheritable to draw a card. That's going to hit into an Aphoniumon fall down mode. It needs to strip 2 sources to be able to survive there. Now the stack is a little bit more riskier. It's only swinging for 8k now, and 8k into this deck isn't going to do all that much, and so the priority is removing that Godamon so it isn't able to be used next turn. WereGarurumonX antibody is going to come out and then straight back into MetalGarurumon. MetalGarurumon is not going to gain that memory because of Gazimon, but using the X antibody is going to go ahead and be able to go into Melga for 1, choking the opponent 1 and completely wiping their board. And so now going for 2 more checks, the Kari is going to actually set them to 3, but now it looks like MetalGarurumon, really good board state, has a pretty decent stack going with 2 Digimon on the side, the Garurumon and the Gabumon in raising, and Mastemon not able to find pieces necessary to go into the Mastemon early, and having their board wipe means they aren't able to find that Godamon and able to go in the Mastemon early using the Flame Hellscythe to be able to bring out that Magna-Angemon, kill that Gabumon just so there's less swings there. And so now Melga is going to go into the Omnimon X antibody, swinging with the X antibody inheritable to evo before the attack. It's going to bottom deck the highest level Digimon on the board, which is that Magna-Angemon, and then it's going to bottom deck one of their own level 6s or an X antibody to check all their security and trash one of them. And so remember, this is going to go for 2 checks nonetheless, so it's going to trash one and check all 3. And so looking at all 3 of the security, of course, it's going to get rid of that Chaos Degrade. The other 2 are going to get checked, and now Mastemon's in a pretty divisive position here. They have to be able to take out both stacks and prevent them from being able to swing for game, or at least be able to heal. And so Mastemon's going to go ahead and scoop, moving on to the second game here. MetalGarurumon up 1 game, and it seems like MetalGarurumon's going to go ahead and get the go to start first. And so playing out that Garurumon, signs of a bricked hand there, but playing out Garurumon honestly isn't that bad. For only 4 memory, when they pass you back with the Godamon, they're going to give you 1, but instead playing the Kare and the Mako, get some good tamers in early searches, able to get some of the stuff you need and getting all the other stuff you need in the trash. Going to go into the Garurumon X just to get that extra card draw. Finally finds a rookie, and so now he has the choice whether or not he wants to go into WereGarurumon. He's going to go ahead and do so. Swing with the stack, isn't going to get many DP busts, but is going to be able to start going for damage here. But the Lonke Shadow, I don't know how to pronounce that, but that removal card is going to get rid of that stack permanently. And so Mastemon being able to get access to some of these new BT10 removal cards makes it even stronger. Lonke is arguably a better Wyvern's Breath because it is able to bottom deck, move a card to security if you have exactly 3 security, which is incredibly powerful. The Madoki Betamon's going to go ahead and swing into security and ends up getting hit by another Lonke. And so now Mastemon able to start doing their combo. They go into the Angelomon here, but it really doesn't seem like they're able to find their pieces. Going to swing again, hit into the Blue Memory Boost. More setup for the MetalGarurumon player, play another Psychemon. But I mean, I haven't seen a Mastemon all game, but it really doesn't seem like the MetalGarurumon player is able to find their Garurumons either. And so now placing down a Gabumon just to pass turn. The Angelomon's going to swing into security, hit into a Gabumon. There goes the Psychomon, hits into a Melga, and so playing the Flame House Scythe, going to delete that Gabumon, make sure it isn't going to be able to get any value in bringing out these Psychomon once again. Mastemon now has game next turn, and it doesn't really seem like MetalGarurumon's able to find any of their pieces, so they're going to go ahead and scoop, and moving on to game 3, 1-1. And so we saw a pretty bad game from both players from each side, not being able to find their pieces, not being able to find their Mastemons or their pieces to be able to start their combos, but passing the opponent 7 memory with an immediate Magna Andromon. And so now MetalGarurumon has some time and some memory to work with. They're going to go ahead and take the Gabumon from the blue memory boost and play it out just to keep searching and keep trying to find more pieces. Gabumon unfortunately whiffs, bottom decking a Cool Boy and 2 other rookies. Losing that Cool Boy is going to be pretty valuable, but they're debating whether or not to drop the BT5 Garurumon on top of the Gabumon. And so the flaw of the BT5 Garurumon is, while it does give you more DP, it doesn't give you that card draw that you do need sorely. So that Psychomon going to go ahead and swing into security, trashing the Lucemon Chaos mode, and then it's going to go into the Ophanimon Fall Down mode just to keep recovering. And so because it only has a yellow source, it isn't able to kill the Gabumon, but it is going to be able to recover in 1. And so now with the Mastemon player at 7 security, pretty big security, able to go into the combo here, OTK for the MetalGarurumon player. But the MetalGarurumon player seems to be kind of risk averse. If he swings into security and hits something bad here, it's going to be pretty bad for him. He's going to go ahead and check Evo into the MetalGarurumon EX1. Because he has 4 cards in hand, at least he's able to gain memory, so that makes it only a 3 cost. He's going to swing into security for 2 checks, hitting into the Black Godamon and then the Angelomon. So that MetalGarurumon is ultimately all right, but now that it's suspended, not sure if it's able to stay safe. It seems to have 1 layer of protection there, but if any removal cards come in, that stack is going to be gone. So then the Ophanimon Fall Down mode going to swing into security, hitting the Gabumon, and going to play the Flame House Scythe to kill the Garurumon stack, getting rid of that level 4 and using the Angelomon to security minus the MetalGarurumon. Now the MetalGarurumon isn't able to do more damage, but it still is able to go into MetalGarurumon Antibody, start bouncing stuff, start becoming a blocker. It's going to go ahead and swing using its when attacking to try to bottom deck the Ophanimon Fall Down mode. Unluckily, it doesn't have a Tamer in play, but the opponent doesn't actually catch that. For the bottom decking effect, you need to it hits on deletion Digimon, and you need to have 8 cards in hand and a Tamer in play. But it really does seem like they didn't realize that ruling or that card, the text on the card, and so going to go ahead and use the blue memory boost to find a Gabumon Evo on top of the Sunobon. And so now, like we were talking about, going into the MetalGarurumonX Antibody to wipe board, and although it doesn't go for any checks, it's able to start bouncing stuff and wiping the board. And so with the 2 blue memory boosts on the table, and with Gabumon erasing and a Melga X out in the field, it looks like an unlosable game for MetalGarurumon. But given how oppressive that Mastemon can be, if you have even two removal options in security, the whole run might be shut down. So dropping the Angelomon once again just to security minus the MetalGarurumon, just to make sure it isn't able to go for more and more damage, going to use the Gabumon to find the level 4 going into the Garurumon. And so now that Melga X Antibody is kind of not very useful, simply because of the fact that it loses its blocker ability after its first turn, because it gains blocker only for that turn. It is kind of just stagnant on the board there. It's going to pass turn to 1 for the Mastemon player. Mastemon player is going to be able to get 2 bodies on board now, the Gazimon and the Angelomon. Going to play yet another Angelomon just to security minus the MetalGarurumon. And so now the MetalGarurumon player has another stat coming up and the memory with 2 memory boosts and an Analog Boy, adequate to be able to go for an OTK. Going to go Evo into the WereGarurumon and straight into the Sagittarius mode, just so they can get rid of the Gazimon, swinging for 2 checks at what seems to be 7, 8, 9k. Going to hit into the low K, and the low K is debating whether or not to hit the big stack or not. But the big stack does have the inheritable Garurumon that I was talking before. That does give it plus 1k, so it's going to go ahead and hit the Sagittarius mode stack. And so they had to explain kind of how it still has that there. But so evoing into the Gabu X to be able to go for the search, hitting the Garurumon, mistakenly trashes it there. It goes back to the hand. And so he's going to dry swing the MetalGarurumonX Antibody there. And it isn't going to do anything, but the whole point in dry swinging is so that it's suspended, so that next turn when it does unsuspend, it bounces both to the hand. And so the Mastemon player is going to go ahead and recognize this. Those Angelomons are going to be gone unless something is done about it, since MetalGarurumon bounces the lowest. So it's going to go ahead and swing them into security, just so, 1, they're able to get into trash for Flame House Scythe, and 2, just so so they get some utility while they're on the board. The Mastemon player in a pretty bad spot, going to play the Death Xmon for 8 cost because of 2 Tamers and 2 Digimon in play. That's going to wipe one of the stacks, but devolve the MetalGarurumon back into the MetalGarurumonX back into the MetalGarurumon. And honestly, you have to be really careful when you're devolving MetalGarurumon because they're able to start their OTK all over again if you devolve them to the certain point. And with the MetalGarurumon and the Inheritable, there's a chance that they're able to get 4 checks. And so going for 2 checks there with the MetalGarurumon, if he evolves into a MetalGarurumonX here, he's able to unsuspend, there it is, and get 2 more checks. And again, that's that fear of the Digivolving the Melga deck because it gets more checks based on what level it's at. And so swinging into security, going for 2, and then that Omnimon Blitz is going to end the game. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to leave a like and comment below if you enjoyed our content. Make sure to leave some comments asking us about these decks, telling us what decks you want to see next, and of course, make sure to subscribe. See you all later.